my friends. So today on my project video, I'm gonna do something a little different. I've been using a lot of the mixed medias, and we're gonna kind of get away from that one tonight. We're going to be using the layered floral background thin cut, which is a 3-piece set. And if you have the September-October catalog, or even if you don't, you can get it online. It's towards the back and it's on page 42, and all three of them together is $49.95. It's item number Z like zebra 3778, and it does go away the end of October. So this is the, like I said, the September-October catalog. So if you decide you want this set, you're going to want to order it prior to the end of the month. And things do tend to sell out as we get closer to the end of the month. So don't wait on that. I will put links to everything I use in the description below the video, so don't worry about being able to find them. We're going to be using the Belle glitter paper, which I think is just gorgeous. I love all the new glitter papers. I've kind of fallen in love with those. So we're using the Belle glitter, and then the Belle cardstock, and then I have some French vanilla cardstock. So those three are going to make our layer. Then I've got some extra French vanilla that I'm going to use some of our older thin cuts, the basic banners, and I'm going to cut out some banners of actually that and in Belle. And I'm going to be using a stamp out of the Garden Gnome, which is also in the no, I think that one is in the big one. Let us look. Thin cuts and more. I think the Garden Gnome is in the big catalog, so that's available. Let me find it. I don't want to give you wrong. Yeah, Garden Gnomes. So this is available for all year long. It's the Stampin' Thin Cut Bundle. It is item number 3781, Z3781. It is $30.95. But today we're just going to be using the Hello Friend stamp in there. I'm going to be using some Belle ink, and I'm going to do some inking with one of our sponges. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, and I have a card base. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set all this stuff off to the side, and we're going to get out the Cuttlebug. You can use any die cutting machine that you have. So if you have a Big Shot, a Cuttlebug, Tim Holtz, I don't even know what, does he have one? I don't know. Anyway, they'll all work. So I'm going to open this up. And you'll see that there's all three pieces are in here. They're hard to get out of this plastic. Shoot, should have took them out before I started the video. Okay, so that will be our top layer. This will be our medium layer, and this will be our bottom layer. So the first thing I'm going to cut is the glitter Belle on the, actually I did that wrong, I'm sorry. This is our top layer, and then our medium layer. I'm doing this backwards, you guys. I am so sorry. Let me think this through. I want the most visible on our top layer. So yes, that is our bottom. Okay. I hope I'm not doing this backwards. If it is, we'll just start the video over and you'll never know. So I'm going to make my sandwich. And it does not matter if you put the thin cut this way with the paper on top this way, or if I'm doing it this way. And the only reason I do it this way is so that I can see that I've got my paper covered. And I'm going to run it through. I'm going to do it a couple of times because the cardstock tends to be a little thicker, and I want to make sure I have it cut all the way through. Not the cardstock, the glitter. And then I'm just going to punch out the pieces. Probably be faster if I use a tool. So it looks like it cut them all with no problems. I just have to punch them out. Which I know that they make a tool, Big Shot does, I think, or Sizzix, for, you just run over it and it pops them out. I don't have that, but if you want help finding that, let me know and I can find it for you and get you a link. For really, really small, like if you have a really intricate one, a toothbrush works. Okay. So that's all of those. So there's going to be our bottom layer. I'm going to set that over there. And then I'm going to do the next one. And I'm doing that one in the French vanilla. So again, I'm going to put it like this. And you can use washi tape to hold this on your paper too if you want. I have a magnetic mat, so that tends to hold it for me. So this one has tons of little pieces. It's cardstock, so they're gonna pop out a lot easier. This one didn't. There we go. So see how fast those are just coming right out of there. I'm gonna have little pieces everywhere. That's all right. That's what vacuums are for. So I apologize. I didn't have a video for you last week while we're doing this. I was kind of under the weather. See how this is gonna layer so far. So I didn't do much of anything last week. I did go get a COVID test and it was negative. So that's a plus. And then the top layer, do I want it to be the light side of the Bluebell or the dark side? And I think I'm gonna go dark side. And I'm going to put the last layer on here. And run this through. Just gonna do it again for giggles. And these ones should pop out really quick because they're bigger. Look at how easy those are just coming out of there. So I have a couple that are stuck, but they're easy enough to get out. Now around, you're gonna see all these little circles. I'm just gonna punch them out with my Cricut tool. I still have the border on here. So I can take that off. I'll get to that in a second. Some of them are not wanting to cooperate, but we'll get them. It'll be okay. Get this border off of here. I think, oh, I just tore it. Ooh. I think I need a new mat because I'm having problems with it not cutting all the way through, and I really do think it's my mat and not the dye. You'll see my mat is kind of bowed. So don't think it's the dye. I think it's user. And it doesn't do it on all of my dyes, just the more intricate ones. So I really, really, really think it's my mat. But you all know these were discontinued through Cuttlebug or Cricut. So it's going to be hard to come by to find a new one. So I'm just going to trim this off, which is easy enough to do because you can see right where it was supposed to have cut. Okay, and then I've lost my little puncher doodad. There it is. I have to punch out the rest of these little circles. And see, they're cut. These are all cut. I really think it's just my mat because it's on the edge piece that it didn't cut it all the way through. So this is where one of those little rolly brushes to get the pieces out would come in handy. I should invest in one of those. I don't know if you can see, I'm just punching out these bigger pieces that didn't want to, again, on the edge, because my mat is warped, cut all the way through. So I'm trying to do them without tearing my cardstock. And of course I'm trying to do it fast, so you guys aren't just sitting there watching me fight with paper. And so then that makes it worse. But it's worth it when you see this, the end result of this. It's just stunning. Please don't think it's the dye. It's user error. Completely user error. I take full blame on this. And I'm just using my fine tip scissors and going around and getting the pieces that didn't quite make it. And like I said, I did tear a piece, but it's gonna, right there, it's gonna be okay because we're gonna not even see it. And I got a piece here and a piece there. I think we got them all. Some of these little ones like to get stuck on there. Can you guys hear my husband yawning out in the living room? He's being loud. I don't know how much this camera picks up, so. Okay, so there's going to be our 3 layers. Isn't that gorgeous? And then, because I want to add a sentiment on here, I'm going to take, let me put this one away. I'm going to take the piece of white daisy that French vanilla, that I had somewhere floating around my messy desk. That is not it, and that is not it. I just had these here, guys. There they are. Okay, so I'm going to cut, and I'm going to just cut these in half, because I'm going to cut 2 banners at the same time. One in Bluebell and one in the French vanilla. So I'm going to do the large banner in the French vanilla, and I'm going to layer the little one on top of it. I haven't moved anywhere, and I keep losing things. Welcome to my world, guys. This is crazy. I have lost the top for my little sandwich here. Seriously, guys, I'm a mess. Oh, there it is. It got buried. So I'm going to do those at the same time. If you know of anywhere that's selling these magnetic mats for the Cuttlebug, please comment below and let me know so I can get one or 2, because I do like my Cuttlebug. So this is a little messy. Okay, set this aside. Now we're ready to start the stamping. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my Bluebell ink, and I'm going to use my little sponge brusher here, and I'm going to just ink up the edges on this, just because I like the way it looks. Gives some border definition when it's on your card front. Okay, easy. And this is going to go right here. Or maybe I want it the darker side. I think I want the lighter on this. Okay, and I'm going to stamp. Remember I said I was going to stamp Hello Friend. But I'm not going to do that in the Bluebell. I'm going to do that in black. Another fun way to do this would be to use the white daisy pigment ink, and you could heat emboss that as well. So I'm going to put it on there sideways, just making sure it fits. I'm going to grab a block. And season your stamp. You can do that just by on your hand, your arm, or you could stamp it multiple times and stamp it off. And I'm just going to stamp right on here. And then it's just assembly. So I'm going to let that dry. It dries really quick. You don't have to wait for it to dry. It's a water-based ink. It does absorb right into the paper, but why not let it sit there for a second? So then I'm going to take our layers. So this is our glitter layer, and then we're going to have the French vanilla layer, and then the Bluebell. So here's a fun tidbit for you. When you're recording and you get a phone call, it stops recording, even if you don't answer the call. So I didn't know it had stopped. I'd continued on with the video, and this is where it let off. So I had to go back and recut everything. And I want to tell you that in doing that, I placed my thin cut down on the magnetic mat, and then I put my paper on top of it. And you'll see I got a much cleaner cut that way. So I'm just gonna have to remember to do that when I have my bended up old mat. So back to where we were. We have our 3 layers, and we're going to layer them up like so, and then we're going to put the Bluebell on top. Okay, so you can use any adhesive you want. For the thicker middle piece, I'm just going to use some tape runner and just stick it kind of in the middle pieces so it will lay down and not bubble. And then I'm going to go around the outside with my art glitter glue. And the reason I'm using art glitter glue instead of liquid glass, which is what I would normally use, is my liquid glass is packed away for a crop that I have planned for this weekend, and now I don't know if it's going to happen because of COVID. But it's packed away, and this is what is on my desk. But liquid glass will work just as well. I just want it on the edges to make sure that it lays down. So now I'm going to just line up my edges, my corner pieces, because he's all cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And lay that down, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the Bluebell. Yeah, I'll do some tape runner. No, you know what? I'm going to do just all liquid glue because this is a narrower piece. You don't need to soak it, you know, it just needs to hold it down. I'm going to run some in the middle here. And if I find, after I get it all assembled, that I have a piece that pops up, it's a fine tip. You can always go right back in underneath it and glue it down. Layer this piece on. And then put this away. Now I also had to recut this, and I didn't re-ink my edges, so I'm going to come in and do that real quick. Actually, I don't know if that is in the video or not, but I'm using a sponge, and I'm just going to ink the edges up with Bluebell. Just like the look, and it gives it some more dimension on your card front. And then I'm going to take some foam tape. Oh, no, first I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to take foam tape squares. These are left over from the shaker window cards, because you know that circle piece is for that. I'm gonna just stick some on here. You don't need tons of foam tape. I see people just like cover the whole back with foam tape, and you don't. I mean, when I say cover, I'm talking go all around the outside, both in here and in here. You don't need that much. Just save it. Now, on the one that I didn't know wasn't recording, I stuck it up here in the corner because remember, that is where I need some more glue. That is where I had tore my piece. Remember when I was undoing it? So I stuck it up there. I'm going to do this one just a smidge different because we can. I'm going to put it down here. Maybe like so. But I'm going to grab a card base. So many things on my desk I need to clean. But I'd rather create. Will anybody else have that problem? This makes it actually a pretty sturdy card because you've got, now with your card base, you've got 4 layers on there. Peel off the backs of these. I'm going to put this one down here. So there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this thin cut. I could not wait to get it. And I was kind of waiting. I was hoping I would have got it last week to make the video for you last week. But like I said, I had gotten a little bit sick and didn't get it done. But isn't that gorgeous? I just love the effect. And there's so many things you can do with this die cut set or thin cut set. You can take the big one here. You could cut it, cut some stencil paper with it. You could even use cardstock and then tape it down on your project and use it as a stencil to color in with markers or shade in with your, like a blending tool to get some fun effects. You could, let's see, what was I gonna say? You could take your cardstock front, use the distressed oxide inks on it, and then come over it again with the stencil and color it in with different colors or ink on top of it. Even use the distressed oxide inks. There's just so many options you could do by making this a stencil. So love to see what you do with it if you get it. Like I said, it does go away when the catalog ends on October 31st. So you will want to get that really quickly if you want this one, because it's going to be gone in just over 2 weeks, just right around 2 weeks. So that's my project for tonight. I hope you liked it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. If you like my projects and you want to know when I make more, go ahead and click the subscribe button for me. I would really appreciate that. And you'll get notified each time I post a new video. And I just want to say thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.